which is so cool to see. We're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves, and then we're going to just do some talk about how cool it is to be part of the anime YouTube community, and then we'll open up to a Q&A at the end. We actually have a fourth panelist who is stuck in traffic. Sachie, who is so lovely and beautiful, and so she will be hopping in as soon as she gets here, so she'll be here soon. But let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. I'm Erin. My YouTube channel is HappiLeeErin. I do all sorts of anime-related things. Mostly, I call myself kawaii weeb trash, because that is what I am. So I do anime reviews, anime first impressions, vlogs, and I also host a podcast called MangaPod Book Club. Huh? Oh, sorry. I usually get told it's too close, so I was practicing caution. There's that better? Yeah. I'm good? Okay. Yeah, I host a podcast called MangaPod Book Club with this lovely lady, as well as Blue, where did you go? Yeah, Blue! And Yokorama, who is... Yokorama, who could not make Anime Expo, which we're all very sad about, as well as lots of lovely guests also come on there. So it's really awesome if you want to check that. And then let's go ahead and have MissART introduce herself.
Well, thank you, Erin, once again, for inviting me to this lovely panel. My name is MissART. My channel is MissART, and I primarily do weekly anime and manga reviews. Primarily Naruto. I'm big Naruto weeb trash. So yeah, Naruto. But aside from doing weekly Naruto reviews, every once in a while I put cosplay content up, and I do host a wonderful, or I think it's wonderful, show that's called Girls Watch Anime, which these two lovely ladies are members of. So that is about like every 3 months. Yeah, so much work. I don't know how you do like MangaPod like so often. Yeah, it's exhausting doing Girls Watch Anime like every 3 months. But
to be fair, you go ham and you're like, all right, Girls Watch Anime. Who are all of the girls that I know that watch anime? Let's put them all on at the exact same time. It's like a big thing.
So fun. Yeah, it's trying to get everybody together. It is quite a project, but I have a lot of fun with it. So thank you guys for being panelists, and leave it over to Dodger.
Hi, I'm Sachie. I'm super cute, and I do costumes, and I'll be here soon, I promise. Hi, everybody. I'm Dodger. Thanks, guys. I do gaming and anime content all together, and yeah, I'm not really sure what else to say. I do YouTube, I do streaming, I do MangaPod with this beautiful lady, and I've been slowly adding more and more anime stuff onto my channel, which has been very fun.
Who you really are.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for being on this panel with me. I'm so excited to have you. So we're going to go ahead and do a quick discussion topic. So I wanted to ask you ladies, what for your YouTube channel, this is kind of to get people familiar too with what your content is if they haven't from you. What is your favorite content or video that you've made on your channel that like of all time? What's your favorite kind of one that you've done?
Favorite content.
It's a heavy loaded question.
Do you want us to go in order?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll answer first.
Yes, Erin, what is your favorite form of content that you do?
Thanks for prompting yourself.
Oops.
Or you can go last.
We're gonna start. You wanna go?
I'll take that. All right.
I'm so focused on being professional. I didn't think.
No, you'll always go last. You're like the cherry on top.
I'll be the cherry.
You are the king.
Nom.
Alright, so, my favorite type of content. Well, like, my channel, being a YouTuber who does a lot of weekly reviews, I am pretty much tied to the industry when a new episode comes out. I usually review it that day. So, you get into a big routine of, like, every Thursday there's a Naruto episode, so every Thursday I'm going to be reviewing Naruto. And there's a repetition to that, and that can lead to it becoming less inspiring, I would say. So for me, the most exciting videos that I get to work on are the ones where I get to break that mold, where I do something completely silly, or if I do GWA, anything to kind of like break up that monotony, like instantly I'm like, oh my god, this is so much fun. I'm actually having fun editing. I'm not tearing my hair out. And most recently I did a video, I think it's like 12 seconds long, but it was that episode of Snow White and the red hair, with the red hair, and it was like this little moment between Obi and Shirayuki. Don't get me wrong, I love Zen and Shirayuki, but there was this kind of like shippy moment between Obi and her, and I was just like dying, and so I made a video that was basically a voice going, yeah, and just like, it was the dumbest thing. It was the dumbest thing, but I had so much fun making it. I laughed at myself. I'm glad my husband wasn't there, because I'm sure I looked really, really crazy. I was having such a good time. So any kind of content that I'm like truly just going out on a limb, having fun with, that's the one that really keeps me inspired to be a YouTuber.
Those are always the best moments when you're making a video and you start laughing, and then you feel really weird. You're like, I'm laughing at myself. You're like, God, I'm so funny.
It's literally that. It really is.
But I remember, actually, Erin's lovely husband, who's in the audience right now, a while back, I was getting super, super frustrated with the sort of videos that I was doing on YouTube. And I was talking with him, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I just feel like I'm in this weird rut. And he was like, you should just make a video where it feels so ridiculous. Like the whole time you're making the video, you're just like, why am I making this? This is so weird. Like to just force yourself to do something that's like at 200% instead of 100%, right? Just be like, I'm just gonna make something really weird that maybe makes me laugh or maybe makes me really embarrassed. And then, then you get to decide whether or not you want to put it up there, but at least you put effort into something that's super different, Anyway, my answer to that question would be when I started the Welcome to the Fandom series. I love those videos. I haven't made one in a long time, but I've been working on scripts for it. And it's so, so fun because I think that was one of the first times that I really allowed myself to be like, all right, what are some fandoms or aspects of fandoms that I am super into, right? And I got to just be like, y'all want to talk about harems? Oh, yeah. Let's talk about harems for an entire video, right? And I made one about Yandere, and everybody was like, what is this? This is so weird. And I was like, I know! And it was really, really fun. So I think Welcome to the Fandom is one of my favorites because it allows me to take things that I think are awesome or that I really want to talk about and just be like, I'm going to make a video where I just literally just talk about this thing. And hopefully get you interested in that thing as well, and maybe you'll want to like look into it more after the video, which is always like the goal, I guess. So yeah, those would be my favorite form of content, I think.
Awesome. I think I thought about it. I got my answer now.
You wrote these questions and you were like, can I go last?
Guys, I keep behind the process. My favorite piece of content that I've done is my top 11-ish moments from Hunter x Hunter. Not top 10. I had to call it top 11-ish because I had too many favorite moments that I couldn't rightfully say it was a top 10. So I called it top 11-ish, and I think that was my favorite because I just finished watching Hunter x Hunter 2011, which, if you haven't seen it, every single episode is worth watching. It's amazing, top 5 anime for sure. And so I got to it was basically just me talking about my feels for certain episodes, and I wanted to be really straightforward and like a little paragraph, and then each moment became a page-long thing of me just feels barfing all over the place. But it was really fun to edit. I think it was one of the best videos that I've edited, and I've spent a lot of time on it, and it had a lot of I spent a lot of time and heart on it, and so I think it was just one that had like a lot of me and really brought out how much I love that series. And so I was hoping that I did that series justice with my feels on it. So I think that was probably my favorite piece of content, and my Hunter x Hunter review. So anything related to Hunter x Hunter is my best thing I've ever done, apparently. Sweet. So moving on, what about the funniest moment you guys have had related to YouTube? Like, it can be related to like fans, any like online experience that you've had, or like a funny YouTube video that maybe wasn't intentionally funny.
I find those all the time. It's called anime crack.
Oh my god. Anime crack, Kuroko crack is my favorite. I want to make, we still haven't made this. This is one of the things on my to-do list of making. I want to take every time from Kuroko no Basket where they say want on wand. I just want to do a compilation of the one. You're like, you made it 30. Yeah. No context. It's just one-on-one. Just saying one-on-one to each other for 30 minutes.
We still have that Kuroku video that we want to make too.
Oh, where we say Kogane. Meow, 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 meow.
The audience is like, what is going on?
If you guys haven't seen Kuroko no Basket, there's a character who looks like a cat.
So it's a cat now.
For no explainable reason. And so we have been wanting to make a joke video where everything else is normal, and then we voice over the cat guy's lines with meow, 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 meow.
Everybody's like really intensely talking about the team and friendship and sports and basketball, and then they cut to him like meow, 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 meow.
So we've been talking about that for 4 years.
No, the show's
It's gonna happen.
Do it.
It will.
I think I can go first on the question.
She's ready. Go
guys.
for it.
I think the funniest YouTube moment I've been a part of is a lot of manga pods. We started out the show and we're like, this is going to be a legit manga pod. We're gonna talk about a different manga every week, give our very nice thought out, intelligent thoughts on it. That went on for that was one episode. And we're at 130, and it just it went downhill in terms of professionalism. But I mean, we always have really good conversations, but the standout moments for me are just incestual Titan sex, where we were, to explain, we were talking about Attack on Titan, and I think it was you brought up how do Titans mate? And then for some reason you thought it was that they touched butts, and so it became conceptual Titan sex.
Imagine just two Titans slowly.
Just like that. So moments like that, or there was a lot of, for the longest time, Yokorama's camera he dropped constantly.
Yeah.
And so we just would sit there in the middle of a sentence, he would be talking, and then Yoku would just disappear. Sachie, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Okay,
Once you
hi
get
everyone.
settled?
I'm Sachie. I'm a cosplayer, YouTuber. I do anime cosplay tutorials. And I flew here from Toronto, Canada. Yay!
We're so happy you made it.
I came out of the Uber and some lady handed me a vitamin water, so I got it all.
We were answering the question, what is the funniest moment you've had related to a YouTube experience? A YouTube video or anything. You can think about it. We're going to start. So you sign it. Yeah, you can
Cool down.
Going right now.
So,
Oh goodness. At least for personal experiences, just going back to when you're editing and you're doing something so dumb, it makes you laugh. Those honestly do stand out to me as some of the funniest moments as a YouTuber. It's just being by myself, entering that editing delirium, if you'd like to call it. Things that you think are hilarious, you never know are gonna fly. People thinking you to be crazy. So personally, those are the funniest experiences for me. Otherwise, when I'm out in the YouTube, running into those random videos that make you laugh, such as the anime crack, or just a video that you didn't even mean to click on, but the thumbnail made you go okay, I'll check that out. It's got so-and-so's face. And then you get there and you're like, oh my goodness. That is really a gem of YouTube as a platform itself, is that you never know what you're going to get. So I feel there are countless moments that I can't even recall specific ones, but they end up in my collective thought process when I'm trying to make my videos. I hope I can be a gym like that one day. I want to make a gym like that.
you saying that reminded me of my favorite YouTube video of all time, which is, who's seen Haikyuu? Awesome. So in episode one, there is a scene where Suga closes the door and he makes this face.
Yes.
So somebody made a video of that. It's 10 seconds long, where they slow zoom in and have Evanescence behind. Bring me to life songs. How can you? Yeah, it's the best video of all time. Closed doors is what it is called. So you should go check it out.
I'll never forget when you screen capped his face when it was zoomed in all the way, and then just wrote "good" on it. And she used it as a response image for something, and then the very next day I used it as a response image to her, and she was like, "Did you just use my?"
And then it became us just slowly zooming in more and more.
Let's see. Like, mine is like weird. Mine is like
Weird. You're not weird.
Okay.
Friends.
All right. Friends. All right. Yeah. So I used to do daily vlogs as well on another channel, and I think the moment where I was like, people pay so much attention, like so much attention, was when my fiance and I had started dating. And somebody saw that there were shoes way in the background, like fuzzy shoes way in the background of my video. And they were like, those aren't her shoes. I was like, what? And they like went into this huge thing. I was like, those aren't her shoes. Those are definitely a man's shoes. And you know who happens to be visiting America right now? Sam. And I was like, what? Amazing. It was so weird, and I was like, we could literally just plant things. We could just plant stuff in the background. Just be like, oh, I didn't think you would see that. What? That was the moment where Sam and I were like, wow, the internet pays a whole lot of attention. Especially when you make daily videos. They're like, those shoes weren't there the last time that you made a video. Where are those shoes? I haven't seen those shoes in the background before. They look far too big. I measured them.
Those are a men's. Those are a men's size 11.
Yeah, I'm positive.
Nike brand.
Definitely one of the weirder moments.
I think one of my
Bless you.
I think one of my funniest YouTube moments is that a lot of my vlogs are cosplay vlogs, which means that like all my cosplay malfunctions are just like caught on camera. I remember a few years ago, I think this is when my friend and I were getting into vlogging, and she was vlogging most of the weekend, and I was cosplaying Black Goldsaw from Black Rock Shooter, so it's like leather bikini, like little, but like I had really bad underboob, and like no one told me, so in all of these vlogs, like it was pretty horrific at the time, but it's pretty funny to look back on, because I'm like, whoa, like, why did no one tell me?
Were you like vlogging?
Yeah, I think, well, no, my friend was vlogging. She was trying to she was trying to start daily vlogging, and then the entire, like, day, I'm just walking around with, like, half of my underwear showing, and, like, no one told me, so. So, like,
Friends tell friends about their underwear.
Yes, guys. Take nothing away from their head. Let it be that. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Let's switch gears a little bit. And I want to do, since we're women of the YouTube anime community, I did want to ask a question about, for your YouTube channel, when did you guys feel, or did you ever have a moment where you felt really empowered doing what you do within the space that you're doing it?
I think for me, the moment I joined GWA, or Girls Watch Anime, Sachie, you're becoming a member now. But originally, the female reviewer, who was my friend, one of my very first female YouTube anime reviewer friends back in 2011, she originally started it, and back then there was like maybe 5 girls reviewing weekly anime reviews, and I was like, where are all the girls at? So when I finally joined that, and then eventually she passed the mantle on to me as being the leader of GWA, it was a real honor, and I feel like that's kind of like my most inspiring role, an honor to be able to like bring all these girls' voices together to talk about anime. Like, we have opinions too, and it's just cool to see people from all walks of life on YouTube. Like with Sana, she's a booktuber. Dodger, you do a lot of games, big channels, little channels. And just like creating this little environment of friendship and love. Yeah. So for me, I feel like that's the most inspiring part of being a YouTuber, and it's great. I love it.
That's awesome.
For me, I think it was, I was doing a meetup at a convention, and there was a girl that was like 11 or 12 that came up, and she said she watched my videos because like, it was good to see other girls reviewing anime doing cosplay, because she was really interested in cosplay. But she said like, she liked my videos and it gave her confidence, because I think a lot of the time when people see cosplayers, they see like professional cosplayers or cosplayers that have very big budgets, so it can be a little bit intimidating. But all of my reviews are like how to make armor out of craft foam, or something that's more like a step-by-step tutorial. So she got kind of emotional, and then I was emotional because I'm like, oh. So yeah, I think that was a moment where I was like, for me, it's just me sitting in my room, like gluing pieces of craft foam together and painting it and wearing it to a convention. But it doesn't like hit you until people actually come up to you and say like, oh, you gave me the confidence to do something that I was like nervous to do before. So it's that moment where I was like, oh, feels.
Right. That is so cute.
Yeah. So definitely cool.
Awesome.
I guess like for me, because you know, the gaming industry gets a really bad rap on where women fit in with it, and I think when I started making videos, it was the same sort of thing as what MissART was saying, where it was like, man, there aren't very many girls doing this, and I was a little nervous that people weren't going to be very accepting, or that they were going to totally miss the point of my videos, right? That they were going to point out things that had nothing to do with the subject matter. And I found the complete opposite to be true, not only in the gaming community, but also in the anime community, that for the most part, everybody like really wants to talk about games and talk about anime and talk about these things that they love. And I think when I realized like, wow, like I have a like value, you know, I have a voice and people are hearing it and people are responding to it and they want to discuss with me about games, about anime, and like I feel like I'm accepted and I'm part of the community, I'm part of the conversation. I think that was like really cool to realize at a certain point, like I had so much fear when I first started making videos, right? Like there was a lot of negative expectations that I was putting on myself based on like rumors and the sort of things that you hear, and I found the opposite to be true, and that was really wonderful and refreshing.
Yeah, I had that too, where I get like very rarely, when I first started out, I was expecting a lot more negativity, especially because of my gender.
Yeah.
And I got some, but I got like nowhere near as much as I was expecting. And then for doing it as long as I've been doing it, which isn't super long, I mean, oh god, 5 years. Oh, that's long. Oh my god. Like, I've always expected more and more to come, and my audience has always stayed very consistently just awesome and very respectful, which is just so cool. As for feeling empowered, I think my most empowering moment was 2 years ago. I think I was putting out, it was the most consistent I've been with putting out content, and so I was getting a very consistent demographic. And one day I randomly decided to look at mine, because I'm really bad YouTuber and I don't look at that a lot. So I was like, oh,
Well, that's good, that keeps you sane.
So I decided to go and check it out, and I was blown away because my ratio was 50% female, 50% male, where for the longest time it was like 90% male, 10% female. I was like, what? What? And I noticed that the age was 13 to 15-year-old girls were made up a huge chunk of that 50%. And so I felt so cool that I was connecting with girls in a space where that doesn't usually happen, where that's not the main demographic or the main group. So I just felt really neat, and I was like, aw, like, I'm happy because I remember being 13 and watching anime and feeling like such a dork because it was a guy's thing, like, so that was so neat, yeah, to see that. So I think that was my most empowering guilty moment. Yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and open it up to Q&A now, if you guys are good with that. Like a red door. I don't know the rest. You get into my core, where I become so numb. Like overlay the video for that. With us singing it. We're just trying to show you guys.
Yes, please.
I wonder if I can. No, it's too small. I was like, I'll pull up the face so everyone can see. But
It's basically the face of baby. I looked over and I was like, that's the face.
My name's Justin Carmelata. I run a YouTube anime show that's on YouTube, Vimeo, and my website called The American Anime Otaku, so please check it out at www.anime.com.
Perfect.
So my question is, what do you think of the current situation with YouTube and the copyright system, especially when it comes to people who do anime-related content?
It's rough.
It's like dodging bullets a
It's,
lot of the time.
yeah. There's a lot of, there are a lot of unlawful, I don't know if that's the right word, but it sounds okay, that like people get hit with a copyright strike that isn't accurate because it is under fair use. So I think it's just very muddled about what constitutes fair use and what doesn't. And so I think YouTube hasn't quite made that as clear as they need to. So it causes a lot of communication.
Yeah.
Especially now that it's getting even more rocky since now H3H3 is getting sued.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
I've tried to always, like the best method for me with both game content and anime content is when I'm talking about a thing to just use the trailer. I've never been dinged for using an anime trailer while talking about the anime, but I can see why if you were using like a clip from it, they would be like, wait, stop.
Yeah, I've been able to, because like if you're talking about what you're showing, like you're describing it, summarizing it, or just talking about like critiquing it, then you're able to show it because that is fair use.
Right.
So if you get hit with a copyright for doing that, then obviously that's on YouTube and you need to reply to it. Yeah, so I've done the same thing where I try and I make it a little smaller. I use under 10 seconds because I want to try my best to avoid and I don't use any music or audio from it at all either.
Yeah.
So definitely.
I play it safe that way too.
I think as well, if in doubt, don't monetize it, because I know people that have tried to monetize review videos, and if money's involved, YouTube will get you pretty fast. So yeah, just watch out for that.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rebecca, and my question relates to how women are portrayed in anime. To be fair, I think it's gotten a lot better recently, but I was watching some middle of the road ecchi harem show, and I realized that I'd become so desensitized to how women are treated in anime that stuff happens in those shows that would cause outrage if a TV show did them here. Do you think female anime fans have become desensitized to the way women are treated in anime because it's just so common?
It still bothers me.
It bothers me a lot.
I avoid, if something has gratuitous, etchy stuff in it, it immediately takes me out of it. I immediately enjoy it a lot less.
Me too.
Yeah.
Much less.
I feel like, much like in many forms of media, just if, support what you want to support with your wallet. So if stuff doesn't have that in there, doesn't have gratuitous fan service for no reason, and you want to support it, then support it. And if you think that it doesn't deserve it, then don't. But what's hard is that this is stuff that exists in Japan and then it's being brought here, right? So whether or not we have as big of an impact on their industry is hard to say.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot less reserved about calling that out. Initially when I started, I was terrified. If there's fan service, I would mention and be like, there's a lot of fan service, so if you're not into that, maybe don't check it out, okay? Just so you know, I'm not judging if you like it, then you're totally okay if you like it, but just so you know that it's there, I have no problem. I was very defensive because I didn't want to get hit with people who love it. Because that's something, going back to the question earlier, when you are a woman and you're critiquing how women are treated, people are very quick to be like, you're just being too sensitive, so you're a woman. I've gotten that on a lot. But having done it longer, I've been able to become a little bit more confident in how I feel, and so I'm able to say hey, I really don't think this is okay, and I'm not going to watch it. And if people have a problem with that, then we can have an open discussion. And so I think that I don't know, it's hard to say whether people have gotten more desensitized to it. But what I do think is happening is women are really using their voices to let it know what they do want and what they do like. And there are so many series in Japan that because of the female fan group are getting way more popular because they're buying a lot of merchandise for it. Like Osamatsu-san, female demographic off the board, crazy.
Isn't that the weirdest
So
thing?
weird, it's so funny. And they were one of the reasons why that series was topping charts and selling merchandise off the shelves so quickly. So I think we're really starting to let it be known that, hey, we are part of the anime community and we do want stuff for us too. And so I think that's something cool because it's starting to balance a little bit more, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Thank
you.
Hi, my name is Ariana,
Hi.
and I wanted to ask what opportunities have opened up to you since you joined the YouTube community, like things that you now have been able to do that you wouldn't have before had you not joined this community?
Oh, I mean, aside from just meeting so many awesome people like these people, I literally never would have met any of these people if not for YouTube.
Maybe.
I don't think so, because I never would have come to Los Angeles.
Because of anime?
Because of YouTube. Without anime, I never would have left my hometown.
Okay, your answer makes sense.
I don't know, opportunities that have opened?
Traveling, I guess.
Traveling,
Like
yeah.
I've got to go to some cool events, like in Canada and also international events as well, that I never would have expected. One of the things that was pretty cool, when I was doing stuff with Geek and Sundry, I got to go to the 50th anniversary Doctor Who convention in London. And so,
that's cool.
So they were partnering with BBC, so I got to do like some interviewing like for the BBC, which was weird because they never think like sitting at home watching anime and then talking about it online is gonna like get you opportunities abroad like that you never would have pictured. So yeah.
I think mine might be this. Like when I was 5 years old and trying to turn into a Super Saiyan, I never imagined on a panel at the biggest anime convention in America and talking to people. So that's probably what
I know, junior high me wearing oversized men Dragon Ball Z shirts would not have pictured adult me being able to be up here.
and like embracing
Yeah,
it.
and embracing and talking about animes. So, great.
Definitely. Thank you. Are we good? Sorry.
Yeah, I think
everyone's
we're
done. Okay.
I think we're good. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Hey, Anthony.
Hi.
Down the line, I guess, what was the first anime you remember watching, and is it still in your top 5?
Oh gosh, mine was Sailor Moon. Definitely. I can't say it's in my top 5, but I will say I love that anime still. I still love watching it.
Yeah, Sailor Moon was also my first. I watched Sailor Moon and then I immediately discovered Dragon Ball Z and I tried to double fist them and that was weird.
All the shipping happened. So much shipping happened. Gohan and Rini for life.
But Sailor Moon is not in my top 5, no. But I would say that like when Sailor Moon Crystal came out, I felt very defensive of the Sailor Moon that I remembered in anime
clothing.
Yeah, and like not seeing all the wacky faces and stuff. I was like, what is this?
They're so pretty now.
This isn't my Sailor Moon. Why are they so clean? It's gotten so much better now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But
oh,
like
yeah, that
at
makes
first,
sense.
I was like, no.
Well, I remember when I was really young, Pokemon, Digimon, and Sailor Moon used to be like the 3 big shows on TV. But when back then, I was so young, I didn't really look at them as being like an anime that I would get into, just cartoons on TV.
Yep.
The first series that got me really into anime was Inuyasha. Yeah, I absolutely loved it. I remember seeing the first episode on TV, I think when I was 9, and I was like, oh, this is so cool, I want to keep watching it. I don't think now Inuyasha should be in my top 5 just because I've seen so many series over the years, but it definitely has that nostalgia factor to it.
Nostalgia feel.
Yeah.
My top, what is it? It's not in my top 5 anymore, definitely, but the first anime I ever saw was actually Speed Racer. We got, yeah,
I
classic.
didn't even think of Speed Racer.
I know. I've never. That's American, right?
Well, I had no idea at first. I was so young, all I knew is that I grew up on a healthy diet of Looney Tunes and American cartoons, and all of a sudden this show started to come on at 9 o'clock, and we got satellite TV, and there's this new show. I was like, what is this? Like, the people actually look like people, and there's like overarching stories. So that definitely opened my eyes to the world of anime. And then I moved on to Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z and Inuyasha. But yeah, it was that classic anime got me.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez.
Awesome. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Hi.
Hi.
So this was kind of about the how women are portrayed in anime. Who do you, if you could pick one woman who you think is inspirational or is your favorite, and name one reason why?
Oh man, I have Casca from Berserk. I think she's badass.
Olivia
So
from
cool.
Full Milk Brotherhood.
All the ladies.
Yeah, pretty much every lady from Miss Brotherhood. Morgiana from
Morgana
Magi.
from Mad Guy. Celti from Baba.
Oh, yes. I saw Celti outside. I was like, nice. As I was trying to find parking. Nice.
I love Celti because she is like she's had a really great a tragic past, and she's on this mission to find something, but she's not sacrificing or hurting people to get what she wants. And then when she hits the robot, she understands that she needs to kind of change her way of thinking about it. And so I just adore her, and she's so cute. She's so white. So cute.
You know who I will defend to the death is Bulma, and not because I collect figurines of her, but because I love that Bulma is just she's ready to fly off the handle at any moment. She gets so angry at all these boys for being dumb all the time, you know. She's built a freaking time machine. She is so smart, and I love that she was portrayed in this way of the ditzy girl character who's useless, but she is a genius. She's an absolute genius, and I love that she existed in such an early point of anime when it was coming out here.
Alita from Battle Angel Alita is another one.
Yeah. Side note, Commander Holly is out there dressed as Battle Angel Alita right now. If you see her, she looks dope.
What about you, Sachie? Do you have any?
I think a good figure for young girls, especially for me with Sailor Moon, just because she was pretty relatable. She's kind of clumsy. I had this big group of friends, and she still wanted to go out, go shopping, and have fun. But then at the end of the day, it was her friends were most important to her, and she still felt very strongly about making everyone happy and having morals. So I think to really young girls, she's a pretty good role model. She's relatable.
Yeah, and I also love that she is so feminine, but that's the whole one is how women are strong, and that it's not a weakness to be feminine, which is really cool.
Definitely. I want to give a shout out to Temari from Naruto.
Oh my god, yes!
I mean, Naruto itself, there's always been, I think there's problems with the way female characters are written in that show, and I feel like Temari was one of those female characters that was a bright spot. And I mean, I think Kishimoto as a mangaka is getting better, a little better, especially with Sarada, his newest female character. I think he's finally starting to turn a leaf in his writing. But yeah, Temari was, a leaf, get it? Okay. Haha, Konoha. But yeah, I think Temari. I didn't like that one.
So ashamed.
Good, you should be. But yeah, Temari is definitely a bright spot for me in the show.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi. My name's Elizabeth, and as someone, I want to be able to start my own YouTube channel, but one of the things that holds me back is the really negative, because there's really negative people on YouTube, and I'm sure you guys have probably gotten all that. So my question is, what kind of tips do you have for an upcoming YouTuber, and how do you respond to that kind of negativity?
For me, it took time, honestly. It took making videos and getting sort of used to the comments, which sounds terrible, but you have to develop your community, right? When you start making videos, there's going to be people who find you and really love what you do, and they're going to consistently show up. And I think making sure that the people who show up just to try to bring you down, making sure that they are not there, like actively trying to keep them out, helps a lot. But yeah, there's a point where you're like, there are a lot of people who appreciate me, and then there's this like small group of people who don't appreciate me, and they don't matter nearly as much as the people who are supporting me with all their heart, right? So I think it just took consistency and making videos for a while and seeing them often enough to be like, you don't matter compared to like all of these people who are super cool and like me a lot, you know?
Yeah, and it takes time to build up that skin of letting that bounce off of you, because it is hard. It's hard when you see people saying, your voice is horrible and you should really change it. And I'm like, okay. So like at first that really would bother me, because I was, okay, well there's an insecurity I didn't know I had until now. But then after a while I go, I know who I am and I like who I am and I'm liking and confident with what I'm doing, but it definitely took time. I've seen that, like you said, once you see all of the awesome people commenting, it's like, these little stupid heads don't matter. So it takes time, and I think it's also something you just gotta do. Like you just gotta go ahead and make a video, and if you don't like it after you post it, you can do something else. Like there's a lot of freedom when you're starting out on YouTube to just kind of play around and mess around and do what you want. Find your voice.
Find your voice. Just get acclimated to being a YouTuber, and especially starting out, I think finding your community, finding the other people who are doing things that you enjoy, and touching base with them, and starting to make friends with them. You begin to immerse yourself into the community, and I think, at least me personally, I get a lot of strength from my friends. If somebody gives me a bad comment, I know I'm not the only one. I know I got people who got my back, and as Dodger was saying, as you build your community, they have your back no matter what, and you begin to develop your confidence over time. Thank you.
Yeah,
I think we have time for one
We
more.
can only do
question.
one more. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, you guys are all so pretty.
Hi, I love you. So there's a lot more acceptance about like anime and stuff nowadays, but I remember being a kid, like it was kind of like bad, and I was kind of in the closet. Were you guys ever kind of in the closet in terms of being a geek, and how did you come to like kind of accept it and become more open?
So this is just a really quick story. I realized I was a closet being an anime geek when I was in 6th grade, and I had a friend I was a swimmer, and I had a friend on a co-ed swim team, and he and his siblings would come over, and we hung out and watched Dragon Ball Z all the time, and he borrowed one of my Dragon Ball Z VHS tapes. So at school, I went up to him, and I was like, hey, do you got my VHS tape? Because you said you were going to bring it today. And he looked at me because he was surrounded by his friends, and he just went, what are you talking about?
Oh, no.
And I was like, no! My ghost time VHS tape? He was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I felt so embarrassed. And I walked in and I was like, wait, so is this not like an accepted thing? And that's when I started to really go, okay, I have to be real careful with who I talk to about this, because it's apparently a bad thing to like. So I think it wasn't until I got to know like my husband and then move out here, and I found so many people who love anime, and I went, oh, okay, I can enjoy this. So there was definitely a time where I felt that way.
Yeah, I think like when Sailor Moon first started showing, right, all of the other kids in my class were super into Sailor Moon. We were all into it together, and I was like, this is so fun! We would all like henshin outside during recess, and it was ridiculous. But then like there was definitely a point where I still wanted to play Sailor Moon. People and everybody else started feeling like they didn't want to play Sailor Moon anymore, and I was like, oh, okay, obviously I'm just like, I'm falling behind, like there's something else cooler, right? There was not. Nothing else cooler. Just like I found myself in this world where I was like, oh, I'm watching Sailor Moon. Oh, but then there's also Dragon Ball Z, and like, oh, Toonami is starting. What is this? And then suddenly there were all kinds of other anime, and I was like, oh, there's so much to watch. And it was the same sort of thing where I was the only one who was super into it. I don't remember necessarily hiding it, but I didn't feel like I could talk to anybody about it really, so.
That's how I felt a lot too. Because when you love something so much, it becomes close to your heart. So the moment anybody tries to poke at it, you just want to cover yourself up, cover your heart up. So I was definitely very cautious when I would talk about anime, because I got really into it in junior high, but I didn't know a lot of people. And then when I found like the first person who had also watched Sailor Moon and like Dragon Ball Z, it was revolutionary, but it took a while for me to open up about it, and so eventually start wearing my Dragon Ball Z shirts, swimming in them. So yeah, it's a touchy topic sometimes, but I started out, and as an adult, I think I've become more confident of being an anime fan.
I don't think I ever really hit it at any point. Like, my friends and I was in that group of friends where we all discovered Naruto together, and we would wear, like, the headbands as belts. I had, like, the Naruto t-shirt. I was pretty, like, adamant about my love for anime. I was, like, the high school anime club president. Like, I was always talking about cosplay stuff, always posting about it on Facebook. So everyone knew, but I think it's good when you have a close group of friends who are also into it, because it kind of gives you confidence. I know a few people, like, if you go to a school and not very many people know about anime, or they think it's weird, it can be kind of scary, and it's something that you want to hide away. But yeah, no, I was generally pretty open. And then I found an online community, like with YouTube, and I remember LiveJournal and like saying, oh my god, blogging about it. So I found like the community online made things a lot easier.
Awesome, thank you. So we are all done. I want to take a selfie really fast. Is that okay? Just really quick.
Do it, just do it, just do it.